Hi, my name's Bethany. I did a 4-week placement with Nottingham Police. It was during the summer, it was 4 weeks long and it was non-accredited as part of the School of Law placements programme. Yeah, while I was with the police it was extremely exciting. We had lots of practical tasks that I was able to get involved in. I made lots of home visits to properties and things in response to intelligence. On occasion we made an arrest. We also searched the properties and also interviewed victims and suspects, so really hands-on, interesting things. Whilst there, I also conducted a research project which involved contacting organisations, arranging meetings, and then creating a report to feed back to the police, so it was really, really good. It's difficult to pinpoint my highlight of the placement really because it was all so enjoyable. The staff were incredibly relatable and friendly and really incorporated me into what they were doing and things, but I think if I had to choose one thing it would probably be the interviews I did with victims. So I went along and sat in living rooms and across kitchen tables and got to hear firsthand some of these traumatic and awful experiences. And I was passionate about modern day slavery and ending that before I started this placement, but you know, there's something about being sat across the table from a rape victim or someone as they show you their burn wounds, and you know, there's something about that you just can't read in an article or a textbook. So whilst it was difficult, I really enjoyed that because it's fueled my passion to pursue this after my degree as well. I think given the nature of the work that is responsive to intelligence that comes in, there's inevitably going to be quieter times when you're working with the police. And I remember times I would turn up to the office and there wasn't particularly many tasks to be doing. I think unlike other placements perhaps, you can't just get on with administrative tasks because you need access to their systems, which obviously as a student, unqualified, you just don't have. And the way I overcame this obstacle was I spoke to my supervisor and I just asked if there was any research I could be doing, anything to help benefit them as a team, and a good way to use my time. And I remember he gave me a task. It was to research the Roma community, which is a people group that we deal with a lot but actually know quite little about. And so this became my default. I'd turn up to the office, I'd have my laptop, and I began to research, and it was kind of learning on the job. It was a first for me, but because of this I was able to have quite a diverse experience on my placement. So some mornings were spent with Salvation Army, with Red Cross, with the Gang Masters Labour Abuse Authority, and I had access actually to a lot more places because of this placement. It involved making calls, arranging meetings, preparing questions, and then it all ended with a research report that I fed back to them at the end of the placement. So an obstacle, potential obstacle, not knowing what to do, but you know, being an active learner, trying to be forward thinking, and you can overcome those things. So if you're a student wanting to undertake a placement at Nottingham Police, I probably have 3 tips for you. Firstly, I'd say you need to be willing to use initiative. You can get as much out of this placement as you put in. You're surrounded by experts all the time, so really take advantage of that. Ask questions, suggest tasks, and just know what you're going into and what you want to get from it. Secondly, I would say that be prepared that there is going to be emotional and potentially confrontational situations, and it's really important to be aware that you're taking that on, but also to be able to keep your peace in those situations. And thirdly, and just really practically, the headquarters is quite a way out, kind of in the middle of nowhere, so you should factor in travel time, expenses, and maybe familiarise yourself with public transport.